Yo, and we're here to use Slo-Pitch. Today we're getting a chance to bring out the brand new Miken Prima. This is going to be an exclusive to the Miken website itself, so you'll have to hop on there if you want to grab one of these. This is a 12.75 inch barrel Maxload, so that's going to be your half-ounce end load. If you ever see Supermax from Miken, that's going to be your full-ounce end load. Today we're swinging a 26-ounce model of this. We're going to go ahead, throw this thing on the tester, see where it's at. If it's anywhere below like that 260, 265 mark, we're going to keep the swings relatively low just because that's going to mean it's more of a game-ready bat. But we will still start with the 52s like we always do, then hop over to Pro M's. We've got Gold Dots, Razzos, and ZNs. Those are all the standard 44-375 Pro M's. No hardcores, no stadiums, anything like that. Once we're done with that, we'll get that final compression for you and then come back with final thoughts. All right, let's see where our Miken Prima starts here before we throw any swings on it. Dial this thing to 0. That was too far. Let's try that again. Dial it to 0. It's supposed to be pretty game ready, so we're expecting right around, yeah, like right at 250, maybe even a hair below. So with this thing being game ready, we're going to throw a handful of 52s on it, and then really we're just going to throw enough Pro M's just to kind of see how it feels. And if it comes out crazy hot, we'll pretty much just put it down and give you our thoughts. Again, our Miken Prima, this is that 12.75 barrels we mentioned, half-ounce end load. We're swinging a 26-ounce. See how it performs with 52s, and then we'll move over to Pro M's.
90 miles per hour. 99 miles per hour. 81 miles per hour. 100 miles per hour. 93 miles per hour.
Yeah, so definitely first impressions. You've got that softer feel we've gotten used to with kind of the Rawlings line of bats, minus like the combat, with the 52s especially. But just like before, the 52s still carry really well. You just have to, understand you're not going to get that kind of feedback of exactly where you caught the ball, which is fine again, because unless you're using this where you have to use 52s, real mushy Pro M's, whatever it is, you'll be swinging the harder Pro M's anyways.
77 miles per hour. 95 miles per hour.
I think that was a little more towards the end, but again, kind of hard to tell with the feedback on the 52s, but still performs real good.
79 miles per hour. 98 miles per hour.
There it is.
73 miles per hour. 104 miles per hour.
Oh, and there's every bit of the sweet spot. So that'll do for our 52s. Again, we saw this started right at 250. 100% going to be a game-ready bat. So not going to throw a ton of swings on it. Just want to get enough to kind of give you that feedback on the 52s versus Pro M's, how that performs. So let's go ahead, swap over our Pro M's now, see what we get.
104 miles per hour.
Woohoo! You see that knuckleball? It's fucking dirty.
102 miles per hour.
Oh my goodness. They got to the hill pretty fast, dude. Yeah, this thing is 100% game ready. Again, we put 20, 30, 52s, and we are a handful of Pro M's in. And if this was something we weren't doing on the review and I was just like, hey, is it ready to game? It's going straight in my bag and I'm done with it at this point.
82 miles per hour. 105 miles per hour. 79 miles per hour. 93 miles per hour.
Man, there's a miss too. I will say, okay, so when you don't catch the sweet spot area, which is pretty big, don't get me wrong, at that point the barrel does soften up and it's kind of hard to tell exactly where you caught it. I think that last one was a little high of the sweet spot, but again, I'm not 100% confident with that, but you definitely can tell you miss the sweet spot by the softer feel you get.
82 miles per hour. 109 miles per hour.
Sorry, Junior. My bad.
83 miles per hour.
That's a nice shot.
103 miles per hour.
Man, when you get that sweet spot, it's nice and crisp. That's for sure.
84 miles per hour.
That's gonna do it for our Miken Prima. Again, this thing's 100% game ready out of the wrapper. I'll have to look at exactly how many pro swings we put on it. We're probably nearing that 40 or 50 mark, which I guarantee is gonna be too many. We definitely have some webbing in here, but outside of that, really nothing else. Hopefully, it'll go from that kind of 250, 245 mark and just sit this whole time. But either way, we'll let it sit for a minute. Go ahead and pick up these balls, come back, final compression, final thoughts. All right, let's see where our final compression is on the Miken Prima. And I would be lying if I didn't say I was a little concerned with where this one's gonna end up, especially with how good it felt. Amazing out of the wrapper. We put about 40 Pro M's, 50 Pro M's, and then 20 to 30 52s on it. But either way, this is one that you would wanna swing straight out of the wrapper and definitely not BP with Pro M's, and there's exactly why. So it's sitting right on 220. So again, for how good it fell out of the wrapper, you're gonna wanna game this thing right away. And if you are gonna BP it, only use 52s or something like that to protect the bat itself. But either way, let's go talk about it in the final thoughts. All right, that's gonna do it for our Miken Prima. We got final compression, got the 52 swings, got the Pro M swings. And all in all, this thing is an absolute missile launcher with the Pro M's. We saw straight out of the wrapper, 100% game ready. I know we just saw it there with the final compression. It obviously failed, but again, I think we talked about it even at the initial compression that based on where it started, if this was a bat I was planning on just throwing some swings on so I could go game it, I would have thrown those 52s on, got kind of a feel for the bat itself. And then for me, it would have taken no less than 5-10 of those Pro M swings to be like, great, this thing's game ready. It's going in my bag. And then at that point, when you're not, and we've talked about this a lot in the past, I can't give you an exact number by any means, but when you're not putting the constant repetitive swings and really just constantly banging against the fibers of the bat, you're gonna see the compression last a lot longer. The perfect example I've got is the Juno MR1 that I've been gaming a lot, and really the Axe 12-inch I've been gaming a lot. Both have been sitting at 250, 245 for a few months now. I've got about 6 tournaments on the MR1. I've now got about 5 tournaments on the Axe. Plus, that was actually my buddy Michael Rayner, who was playing with LSR last year's gamer for a good chunk of the season. So both have a lot of swings on it. So that's something to keep in mind when you grab these. So if you're gonna pick one of these up and your summer gets tested, just know you shouldn't be throwing a whole bunch of BP on it, or really, honestly, I wouldn't throw any BP on it other than maybe if you wanna get comfortable with it, use those 52s. But once we switched to the Pro M's, it was crazy good. I mean, when you caught the sweet spot, super kind of that stiffer feel, great feedback. Obviously, as you caught, and we talked about it during the video, a little bit away from the sweet spot, you got more of that softer Rawlings barrel that we've come accustomed to with a lot of their bats. But either way, in my mind, this might be the best performing two-piece from Rawlings we've swung in a long time. I definitely liked it more than kind of the Rezzies or the Tantrums from earlier in this year, or I guess now that we're in 2025, it's last year for 2024. But again, you saw with the compression, that's kind of the piece there. So depending which tantrums you're using, we saw some of the tantrums last a little bit longer than others. But just treat this just like that, where it's a game ready bat, pull the wrapper and go hit your kind of scuds with it. Incredible forgiveness. You still get the feedback of where you're catching it. If you are somewhere that uses 52s, or you know you're gonna be using really like soft Pro M's, this probably wouldn't be my choice. That's the only downside I have for it. Because the barrel was a little bit softer when you were hitting the 52s, we really couldn't get a good idea of where the feedback was. Now, it performed just fine. So if you're fine with just, hey, I'm gonna swing, and when the ball kind of comes off, it's gonna come off good, awesome. But for me, I definitely like the feel of, okay, I know on that swing, I caught it low, I caught it high, whatever it might be. And you're just not gonna get that with this, with the 52s. But again, for the Pro M's, you're not really gonna find better performance. And if testing doesn't matter for you, then really who cares at that point either, right? So just something to keep in mind there. Either way, this is a Miken exclusive, so you have to go to Miken's website there. I don't know the exact link. I think it's like rawlings.miken.com. But if you search Miken, obviously you'll find it very, very easily. But this was a limited run, so not a ton of these available. I don't have a discount code for you over there at Miken, so if you've got something that can get you a code, awesome. If not, reach out. I will do my best to try to locate a code for you to get you a better price here on this one if you decide to order it. But either way, great product from Miken. I really enjoyed it. Everyone enjoyed it. Even once we were done kind of testing, doing the normal review, a couple of the guys just wanted to try it out. They got a chance to swing it and see kind of what it was all about. But hopefully this kind of helped you decide whether or not you want to grab one of these. I know with it being a new release, the first Prima I've seen, obviously all the previous ones were Primos. But this 12.75 barrel with the Maxload was like the perfect weighting. Great barrel in my mind. Great bat. So either way, thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for checking out the video. Have a great day.